First of all, let me say that in an era of rapid global warming, Maryland, our state of Maryland, for the past 10 years has been on a steady path of transitioning off of climate-changing fossil fuels. That's the good news. But in the past 6 months, a radical detour has been proposed for our state. Now, who is proposing this detour? It's a company called Dominion Resources, based in Richmond, Virginia. Dominion wants Maryland to not build wind farms and solar rooftop arrays, but to build one of the biggest single fossil fuel energy facilities ever constructed in our state. This $3.8 billion facility would take 770 million cubic feet of fracked gas from across Appalachia, pipe it to a place called Cove Point in southern Maryland, liquefy it to about 270 degrees below zero, put it in 1,000-foot-long tanker refrigeration ships, and send it to Asia, where it would be re-vaporized, piped again, and burned in India and Japan. Now, we're at a crossroads in Maryland. In the next 6 or 7 months, we have to decide as a state, are we going to stay the course with bigger and better clean energy development, or are we going to take a radical detour? First of all, where is all this gas going to come from? From here, from the Marcellus Shale, from new and rapidly expanding drilling using the process we all know and we're all familiar with now, hydraulic fracturing or fracking. You drill down a mile deep, you drill another mile horizontally, then you set off underground explosions in the pipe shrapnel literally punctures the rock, you pump down millions of gallons of water with chemicals and sand, and then you pump up the gas. I think most of us have heard about all the attendant problems that come with this technique, and they include carcinogenic chemicals used in the drilling process, the confirmed triggering of earthquakes from drilling water reinjection, and of course, flammable tap water in numerous areas adjacent to drilling. But one statistic I want to focus on in particular is the US EPA's estimate that about 1.4% of all the natural gas, also known as methane, produced from the fracking process actually escapes into the atmosphere. This is important because according to the Nobel Prize-winning Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, methane is 28 times more powerful at trapping heat in the atmosphere than CO2 over a 100-year time frame. 28 times worse, pound for pound, than the CO2 that comes out of the coal plant smokestack. So the more gas that you drill, you store, and you pipe, the more is leaking. And it's all designed to get that gas from the Marcellus Shale. And where's it going to wind up? A small coastal area called Cove Point in Calvert County in southern Maryland. Now, if you've never been to Cove Point, it's right on the Chesapeake Bay. Here's the nearby town of Solomon's Island. It's like a little slice of New England. Here is nearby Calvert Cliff State Park. And here's the lovely lighthouse right on the tip of Cove Point. These energy-intensive industrial-scale facilities would pollute the local community with 552 tons of nitrogen oxide a year and 4.6 tons of sulfur dioxide. These are Dominion's own numbers, which of course create smog. So the air pollution in Calvert County is going to get worse. Then also toxins like mercury and acid gases would have to be stripped out of the natural gas and either stored in Calvert County or trucked across our state and put somewhere else. But perhaps the most astounding fact of all is that the entire liquefaction plant, according to Dominion's own numbers, would generate 3.3 million tons of planet-warming CO2 per year. That would make this plant itself the 4th largest source of greenhouse gases in the entire state. Worse than 4 of our current coal-fired power plants. But we're not done. This liquefied gas now has to get to Asia. Dominion would pour it onto at least 90 refrigeration tankers like this, 1,000 feet long, coming into the mouth of the bay, burning heavy crude, dumping billions of gallons of ballast water into the sea and the surrounding bay, and then turning around and making the 6,000 and 7,000 mile trips back to Japan and India respectively. Dominion has already sold contracts. They've already sold this Appalachian gas to companies in Japan and India. From there, it would be re-vaporized and pumped by energy-intensive compressor stations and through pipes to the final end users in New Delhi and Tokyo, where our Appalachian gas, long-traveling gas, is finally lit on fire for energy use. Really? When you add it all up, Dominion's Cove Point liquefaction facility for frack gas would trigger more global warming pollution than any other process or facility in the entire state of Maryland. More than all of our 7 existing coal-fired power plants combined. Now, does it make us environmental radicals to say no to this? Fracking, earthquakes, flammable tap water, piping, compressing, liquefying, tankering to Asia, re-vaporizing, more piping, then finally lighting our Appalachian gas on fire in Asia. What could possibly be more radical than this? So it probably should not surprise any of us that Dominion doesn't even want to do a comprehensive environmental impact statement for its Cove Point liquefaction plant. If Dominion's fracking plus liquefaction plant is so good for the environment, so clean, then why in the world would they be afraid of an environmental impact statement? So here's the Marcellus Shale, here are all the other basins, and all of these shale formations again contain gas. And I ask you, why would anyone believe that the same won't happen here, and here, and here, and here, and here? What are we in favor of instead of Cove Point? And the answer is doubling our state's wind and solar generation by the year 2025. Not only is this doable, it will also create more jobs for Maryland, construction and permanent jobs, than fracking and liquefying at Cove Point could ever do. In the year 2013, in a 400 parts per million atmosphere, why in the world are we talking about bringing to the surface nearly 1 billion cubic feet of gas and sending it to Asia at the virtual carbon equivalent of coal? Why are we even having this conversation? If we build this Cove Point liquefied natural gas plant, we will all hear the great audible cry in our conscience of future generations asking us why. Why didn't you protect us when you could, when you had the facts? So we are at a crossroads. We have to choose now. There's no sea level rise that comes with wind power, plus you get the jobs. There's no Hurricane Sandy that comes with solar power, plus you get the jobs. This is our future, and this is our future. Clean energy, not Cove Point. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.